How to save. Today we're going to discuss the file structure of Windows, how to save documents and pictures, where to save them, what the files look like, how to add a file, delete a file, rename a file, folders, where they're kept, how the structure of Windows works, just so that you can find things and to keep it easy and easier for you to find your documents and learn how to save and do all that kind of good stuff. So to start with, we're going to open up File Explorer, which is this program you see here. To get there, we go down here to the Manila folder, click on that, it'll bring this up, and if you do not have the Manila folder here at the bottom, don't worry about it, just go to Start, go up a couple of icons, you're going to have pictures or documents, click on one of those, it still brings you into the same structure, just drops you down to either documents or pictures. If you select this PC, that is the screen that I am on. So with that being said, this is the layout of your computer. So this is where every file on your computer is kept. This is how you find everything. So the hard drives are where your files are actually located physically on the computer. You got a C drive. Everyone has a C drive, so you're going to have that. You may have a second hard drive, but you're probably not going to have the rest of these. My computer has more, so don't worry about that. Inside of your C drive, most likely, is where your other folders are. These are the main folders for the whole computer for each user. I kind of think of these as the file drawers inside of the file cabinet. So your hard drive is your file cabinet. Inside that is your file drawers. So we've got a drawer for desktop, drawer for documents, downloads, music, pictures, videos. And don't worry about the size of these drawers. These drawers are as big as you want them to be until the blue line reaches the very end of your hard drive. So depending on which drive it's on, you've got a lot of data. So you can store, if you have lots of documents and no pictures, then you're going to have a really big documents folder and a really small pictures one, or vice versa. But don't worry about it. Size really doesn't matter these days on computers until you start getting up here to the very end of your hard drive. That's when it's going to be a big deal. So inside of that, you're going to have, so inside of documents, you got other folders. These are like the folders you would have in your file cabinet. So you'd have, you start with A, go to B, go to C. So these are in alphabetical order. And you can organize these in name order. So up here at the top, you got name, and you see that little caret at the top. It's the so they're named from A to Z. Or you can select name and it'll point down. So now it's from Z to A. And it always does file folders and then documents. So most people like it in the name up. You can also date modified. So what date modified means is if you select that, it's going to tell you the last one that you did. So that way you can find files. If you know, oh, I just did it a couple of days ago and I don't remember what I called it. You can do your date modified, which will tell you the last few days, or well, all the way back to the beginning of time, in the order that they were made. The type and the size work the same way. Most people don't care about those. It's usually name or date. So I keep mine on the name most of the time because I know kind of where I'm looking for. But you can go either way. And you just click on up here where, when you highlight it as blue, you can just click on it and it will do its thing. Now inside of that, you're going to have your folders. This is where you have these are kind of like the green folders in your file cabinet, the ones that you hang and then you put the other ones inside of. So these are kind of like the green ones, and then inside of each one of those you'll have other file folders that you can create. The nice thing about Windows is you can create folders inside of folders inside of folders and without any limit, so it depends on how organized you want to be. Some people want to have everything in their own little folder. Some people just want to have some generic folders that cover a wide span of things, but at least it's easier to search inside the folder. That is totally up to you, and we can get into more depth later on, but this is to help people just get a grasp and get started on saving. Inside of here, inside of any of your folders, if you want to create a new folder, there are two ways to do it. You're going to either click up here under the Home tab, you're going to have a new folder icon. Click on that, and it's going to create a new folder down here under N. That's just where it goes. Or you can right click out here in the white space and go down to New and click Folder. Does the same thing, drops it down into the N. So if you don't click any buttons or do anything, you're going to have it highlighted blue and you can just start typing in a name. So we're going to call this test, and this renames the folder from new folder to whatever you want to call it. You can call it letters, you can call it test, you can call it anything that the documents make sense to you. And I've already got a test folder, so I'm just going to merge it, not a problem. Or if you've already got off of it and it's already renamed it to new folder, just go up to it, right click on it, and you'll see it down here at the bottom where there's a rename. Click on that. In the rename, highlight it as blue just like before, and we're going to call this test 3 because I've got a couple of test folders down there I've been playing with. So then it renames it, shoves it under alphabetical order under test. Inside of those, if you go inside, you can organize the same way. Add a folder, call it whatever you want, add a new folder. So these are great for like if you had pictures of a vacation that you took over a week long or something. You could do a main folder called, Hawaii, and inside of that you could have day 1, day 2, day 3, however you want to organize that. You can also have different spots. So if you went to each island, you can have each island have a folder, however works for your style. For the naming, so if you want to name it, you can call it any combination of letters and symbols that you want, up to the only two that you cannot use are the question mark or the star. So if you go to rename and you try to put in a question mark, it'll say no. If you try to put in a star, it'll say no, and a forward slash will say no. So you can do everything but those three basically. No slashes, no question marks, no stars. Other than that, it's pretty much open gambit to whatever you would like to put in here. Capitals, lowercase, whatever. When you name a file, capitals and lowercases do not matter when you're looking for it, so it just makes it look more appealing to you. A lot of people will put in a name that makes sense to them, so Hawaii vacation week 2 or whatever you want. You can put spaces in to make it look more like a sentence or easier on the eyes. The computer doesn't care, and lowercase or uppercase doesn't matter, so if you got a capital V or a lowercase v, it's not going to matter for the computer. So this just makes it easier for you to read. That is the adding of folders inside of folders. If you create one that you don't like or don't want anymore, or you find a folder that you used that was used for a special project and you're done with the project, anything, you can highlight it. If you're done with it, right click on it, and we go over right clicking in another lesson here. So scroll down and you can hit the delete icon or the delete word down here, and it will delete. Or you can highlight it and just press the delete key on the keyboard, and that will also delete it. That way they're gone, and it will delete anything in the folder. So just remember, when you delete a folder, it deletes everything inside the folder also. It doesn't move that stuff anywhere, it just deletes it. It is gone. You can get it back. It goes to recycle bin. So if you minimize this, go up here to your recycle bin, open this up, you will see that I've got Hawaii Vacation 2. So if you accidentally delete something, go into your recycle bin. This is like the just in case you didn't want to do that. You can highlight it, and then up here at the top you see the icon that says restore the selected item. Then you can click on that. It's going to go put it back where it took it from. Or you can right click on it, do the same thing. Go to restore, puts it right back where we took it from, so that way it can put it wherever you deleted it from accidentally. So you do have a backup just in case you accidentally deleted something you did not mean to. But once you empty the recycle bin, it's done. You don't have anything that you can do. It is all gone, and it takes a lot of software and patience to try to get stuff back from that. So don't empty the recycle bin unless you're absolutely sure. Okay, and as you can see, we went back into here and it has put them back where we deleted them from. Now let's go to a program, and I'll show you how to save inside of a program. So this is just the file structure so you kind of understand where things get saved. We're going to go into a program like Word. We're just going to do a blank document. Here you're going to type up whatever you want, like if you're doing a letter to somebody, you can just type away, do what you want to do. Then when you get done with it, there's two ways to save it. You can either click this icon at the very top. You see this one looks like a floppy disk. That's still the standard universal save icon. You can go anywhere and pretty much any computer and you should have that icon as a save icon. You click on that, brings up the save as box, and this is where you're going to save as, or you're going to go to File, and it's going to be down here under Save or Save As. Most people do Save As so you can name it. So Save As, that brings up the same screen both ways. Inside of here, if you've already saved a few things, you're going to have a list of places that you've saved stuff, so you can go back to and resave, or you can go to Browse, which will bring up the File Explorer like we've been working with inside of the Documents folder, and you can save these anywhere you want. I mean, if you want to save a document in pictures, you can save a document in pictures, and or a picture in documents. It doesn't, the computer doesn't care. It's just more for your structure. You know, all your pictures are here, all your documents are here. It's how it's going to work in your brain. So if we scroll down here to one of the test ones we did, we can open that up. So the way I opened that was I double clicked on it. Sorry, I should tell you that. So we're going to go down here to test. So we're going to select it, double click will open it, or you can select one and you can go down here to open on the bottom, click on that, it'll open that folder. And as you can see, we're under this PC, documents, the name of the folder we had, the second name of the folder we have, and now we're into a blank folder here. This down here where it says file name, this is where you save it. It's going to automatically fill it in, generally with the first word or sentence in your document. If you like that, you don't have to do anything but hit save. If you don't like that, you can just start in typing into it, and you can name this anything you want. Same naming structure, no slashes or stars or question marks, but you can give it a date or anything that you would like to do there. If you want to spread your date out, you can put in your dashes and make it look however you want it to look. And then when you're done, either hit enter or click save, and it's going to save it. And then up here you will see on the top of and this is in Word, Excel, Office products, they will definitely tell you the name of the item you just saved, test, letter, date, all that good stuff. So this is all saved. So this is how to save it into so this is a Word document. Nice thing about Word is we got a lot of people that like to save into PDF. So after you've typed up whatever you want, if you want to save it as a PDF, which is great if you got something you typed up that could be legal or could be just a form that you want somebody to fill out, or you just want to show something to somebody but don't want them to change it. PDF is great because they can't change it. So you're going to go up to File, Save As, and we're going to go to Browse, and it's going to come back into the same folder we were in, which is fine because that's where we want to save this. But if we want to change it from a docs, which is the Word, we're going to click on down here where it says Save As Type. Click on that, drop it down. Down here gives you everything that you can save it as. So if somebody wants a rich text format or a web page, different little formats, you can pick any of these you want. The most common one is going to be either the Word document or the PDF. And if you're saving in a Word document, unless they tell you they want it in one of these other formats, the top one is the most common, and then PDF is the second most common. So if you select PDF, it comes up with PDF, same name, and then all you gotta do is hit save, and then the program will open whatever your PDF viewer is. Most of them are Adobe Reader. This is Adobe. So this opens up in Adobe, and as you can see, I can't change anything. I can scroll down, and the name of it is still going to be up here at the top. If somebody gets this and they don't like the name of it, or you want to change the name of it, you can go up here. So this is an Adobe, same kind of thing as Windows. So you go up here to File, and you can do the Save As also, which will save a copy somewhere. So you got My Computer, and you've got choose a different location, or you got the same kind of list of where you've saved things before. You can do the choose a different folder, and that brings up the same layout that we've been dealing with. This is going to be your documents folder, so if you wanted to save it as something else, we could scroll down here, test 3, we could put it in this other folder, and we could change the name here if we want, or keep the same name, however works for you, and then you can hit save, and it's going to save it into a different spot or under a different name, anything that works for you. And then when you're done, you can just close out of that. And then this here, we've saved it, so we can close that. Then inside of File Explorer, so if we were to open this up again to this PC, in order to find what we just saved, we can go to Documents, scroll down to Test 3, because that's where we've been playing. We can go into the Hawaii, and here's the things we just did. Or if you're not sure where you put it, but you know the name, you can go to this PC, and you go to Documents, and then up here at the top right, you got Search Documents. This is really handy if you're looking for something, and we know we just named it Test Letter. We're going to put in Test Letter and hit Enter. It's going to bring up every test letter or anything that has test or letter. It's going to start with test and letter to get you as close as possible, and then it's going to just start going down everything you can find. And as you can tell, these first 3 are the ones that we just did. You can highlight them. If you want to know where they are, over here on the right, you got Documents, Test 3, and then the folder that it's in. You can double click on it and it will open it so you know where it's at, and it will give you everything there. Or you can right click on it, and if you want to go to the folder it's in, you go down here to Open File Location, and that's going to take you to the folder that it's inside of so that you can find it. It's really good if you got like a bunch of stuff together and you know it's all in the same place, but you can't remember the name of the one that you want, but you know of a name of something else that is there. It'll get you into the same folder so that way you can look for the other items you have. Hope this wasn't too big of a confusion and everything is nice for you. The other option